व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राधे जय राधा गोविंद राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव श्री प्रभुपाद की जय हो टुडे आई एम डूइंग श्री यमुनाष्टकम written by शिला वल्लभाचार्य जी। आज हमसे पांच अध्याय करने जा रहे हैं, रस पंचाध्याय। तो यमुना माता जी को प्रार्थना करते हैं कि हमें प्योर डिवोशन दे, गंगा मैया से प्रार्थना करते हैं हमें पवित्रता दे, और सरस्वती मैया से कहते हैं कि हमें वैष्णव शिष्टाचार दे। हरि बोल। श्री श्री यमुनाष्टकम की जय हो। नमामि यमुना सकल सिद्धि है तुम मुदा मुरारी पद पंकज स्फुरद मंदनुत्कटां तटस्थ नवकानन प्रकट मोद पुष्पांबुना सुरासुर सुपूजित स्मरपितु श्रिय बिभ्रतिम् कलिंदी गिरिमस्तके पदं मन्दपुरोज्ज्वला विलास गमनोलसत् प्रकटगहडे देशे लोनता सघोष गतिदन्तुरा समधिरूढ दोलोत्तमा मुकुंद रतिवर्धिनी जयति पद्मबन्धो सुता भुवं भुवन पावनी मधिगता मनिकस्मने क्रियाभिरिव सेवितां शुकमयूरहंसादिभिः तरङ्गभञ्जकङ्कण प्रकटमुक्तिकावालुका नितम्ब तटसुन्दरीं नमत कृष्ण तुर्य प्रिया अनंत गुण भूषिते शिव विरंचिते वस्तुते घनागणनिभे सदा ध्रुव पराशरभीष्टदे विशुद्ध मथुरा तटे सकल गोप गोपी वृते कृपा जलधि संश्रिते मम मन सुख भावय यया चरण पद्मजा मुरारी प्रियं भावुका समागमनतो भवत् सकल सिद्धिदा सेवताम् ध्यया सदृशतामियात् कमलनासपत्नीवया हरिप्रिय कलिन्दया मनसि मे सदा स्थीयताम् नमस्तु यमुने सदा तव चरित्रम् अत्यद्भुतम् न जातु यमयातना भवति ते पयपानतः यमोऽपि भगिनी सुता कथमुहन्ति दृष्टानपि प्रियो भवति सेवनात् तव हरेर्यथा गोपिका ममास्तु तव सन्निधो तनुनवत्वमेतावता न दुर्लभता मारति मुरारी पो मुकुन्द प्रिये अतोस्तु तव लालना सुरधुनी परम संगमात् तवेव भुवि कीर्तिता न तु कदापि पुष्टि स्थिते स्तुतिं तव करोति कः कमलजा सह पत्नी प्रिये हरेर्यदनु सेवया भवति सौख्यमश्मोक्षतः इयं तव कथाधिका सकल गोपिका संगम स्मरश्रमजलाणुभिः सकल गात्रज संगमः तवाष्टकमिदं मुदा पठति सूरसुते सदा समस्त दुरतक्षयो भवति वे मुकुन्दे रतिः तया सकल सिद्धयो मुरारी पुष्ट सन्तुष्यति स्वभाव विजयो भवेत् वदति वल्लभ श्रीहरे स्वभाव विजयो भवेत् वदति वल्लभ श्रीहरे श्री यमुना स्तोत्रम संपूर्णम। श्री वल्लभाचार्य की जय हो। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। I'm reading the translation. Shri Vallabhacharya bowed joyfully to Shri Yamunaji, the giver of divine supernatural powers, for experiencing the Bhagavat Leela. Shri Yamunaji is loaded with the glistening sands emanating from the lotus feet of Murari Shri Krishna. The water of Shri Yamuna is scented with the perfume of blossom flower from the forest located on the bank of Shri Yamuna. Shri Yamuna is worshipped by gods and demons equally. Falling forcefully on Mount Kalind, Shri Yamunaji appears to be crystal white and looks beautiful with her luxurious flow through cheek, like rocks of mountain. Shri Yamunaji flows a zigzag path noisily, and while she flows up and down, she looks as if shifting on a beautiful swing. Shri Yamunaji is superior as she enhances our love towards lotus feet of Lord Mukund. Bow down to Sri Yamunaji, the fourth beloved of Lord Sri Krishna, who has come down to earth to sanctify it, and on earth she is served by parrots, peacocks, swan, etc. with melodious noise as if shouted by loving friends. Sri Yamunaji wears bangles in the form of waves and sands on them looks like pearls. Sri Yamunaji looks beautiful with hips in the form of her two bands. Sri Yamunaji is adorned with countless virtues and is worshipped by Sri Brahma and other gods. She has a luster of rain-filled clouds and fulfills the desire of sages like Dhruv and Parashar. Pious city Mathura is situated on her banks and she is surrounded by Gop and Gopis, whose only refuge is Kripesar Shri Krishna. O Shri Yamuna, please bless me with the happiest of mind. Sri Gangaji, who has emerged from the lotus feet of God could become beloved of Krishna and fulfill every wish of her followers only after her merge with Sri Yamunaji. Sri Yamunaji can be compared with lotus-born Sri Lakshmiji only, who is also Sri Krishna's beloved. Sri Yamunaji, who destroy all the ills of Sri Krishna's devotees, may live in my heart forever. Oh, Shri Yamuna, your character is wonderful. A person who partakes your water has no fear of pain inflicted by Yam, the god of death. Is how could he hurt his sister's sons, matlab devotees? However wicked they may be because they become beloved of Shri Krishna like Gopikas by serving you. O Shri Yamuna, let us pay obeisance to your insanity. O beloved of Mukund, Sri Yamuna, by your nearness, let my body become new, worthy, so to gain the love of Sri Krishna, the enemy of demon Mura, is not difficult. So let us shower your with love by prayers, as Ganga became famous only after merging with you and was not worshipped by Pushti Jivas before that. O Shri Yamunaji, the co-wife of Lakshmi, the beloved of Krishna, no one is competent enough to praise you by worshipping Lakshmi with Sri Hari. One gets the bliss of salvation only while you give much more, as as your water is mixed with sweet generated by the bodies of Sri Krishna and Gopikas, while having exotic sports by worshipping you, the devotee gets the bliss of this too. O Shri Yamuna, daughter of sun, a person who always recites this eighth stanza with joy gets freedom from all of his sins, and he surely gets affection of Lord Shri Krishna, by which he attains all the supernatural powers. Shri Krishna, the enemy of demon Mura, becomes satisfied and devotee conquers his nature. So say Shri Vallabha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Yamuna ji ki jai ho. Shri Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai ho. Thank you, Prabhuji, for so wonderful seva. Hare Bol. Prabhuji, your voice is not coming.
Yes, somebody's going to recap, right? Yesterday's class?
Yes.
Should I begin?
Prabhuji.
Yeah. Should I begin?
Oh, should I? Oh, I'm sorry. I should just say a little bit of prayers, Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome back, everyone. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatha Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagna Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय श्री प्रभुपाद नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशे नमः O most beneficent incarnation, you are Krishna himself, appearing as Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden complexion of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer respectful obeisances unto you. Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam Sangapanga Strapashradam Yagnahi Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly chants the names of Sri Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Nana Sastra Vicharnaik Nipunau Shadadharma Samstapakau Lokanam Hitakarinau Tribhuvane Manyau Sharanyakarau Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Anandena Mattalikau Vande Roop Sanatana Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narom Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Prabhupada Jai Shri Bhagavad Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. Hare Krishna everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. Welcome to the class. We are going to start a really wonderful, that is the crown jewel of the entire 10th canto, probably entire Bhagavatam. That is Krishna's Rasa Leela, Panchadhyay, Hare Krishna. So now I think we can hear the recap of yesterday's class. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, and welcome all. Am I audible? And I have shared the
Yes.
screen. Yes. Okay. So yesterday we did lesson 60 by Her Grace Santa Mataji, and chapter 28. The title is Krishna rescues his father Nanda from Abhoda Varuna. So there are two themes we covered. One is Nand Maharaj, he correctly broke the Ekadashi fast and went into the river Yamuna, but the servant of Varun, Varun, demigod of the ocean or the sea or whatever we call it, uh, incorrectly arrested Nand Maharaj. So, and then how Krishna goes and rescues him, and how Nand Maharaj is nicely, welcomed by Varun Dev. So that is one section 1 to 9. Then looking at the prayers Varun Dev offers to Krishna, Nand Maharaj he shares that with all the other Brajvasis, and they become very excited and they feel that their position is lower than that of Brahman, Paramatma, or other Vaikuntha. So we'll see how Krishna reacts to that. We saw how Krishna reacted to that and how did he dispel that part. So we'll do a recap. I think I will have 15 minutes. It's 7:20 here. So I will try to wrap up with 10 to 15 minutes. So first slide here. Um, this is about Nand Maharaj. He is working to so Nand Maharaj. He is fasted on Ekadashi, and the next day he enters into the water of Kalandi or Yamuna to uh, break cut fast. And actually, he is correct. He is technically fully correct that we saw yesterday, but the servant would arrest him. So here it is mentioned about Janardhan, right? The Lord is mentioned as Janardhan. So what does the name Janardhan apply? What does it derive or what does it mean? Would anyone like to take a this thing? Would anyone like to answer? The question first is, what does the name Janardhan derive or apply or imply or mean? Hare Krishna. So who do we have?
Yeah, Prabhuji, Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
yes, Prabhu. Yes. Radha.
So I think Janardhan word is used with this context that he is requested by people because he is caretaker of the entire material world. Meaning he is always begged for the sake of bhakti by devotees due to being unsatisfied. The devotees are not satisfied, so they beg for him. So with that context, the word used Janardhan.
They are not satisfied with their bhakti and
Yeah.
the things, and like more on the spiritual aspect. So they always want. So that is it. The other question I had, but I will question and myself and answer it quickly. That is, I think what shows the eagerness of Nand Maharaj. Like he's such an exalted devotee, but still we see his eagerness on keeping up to the regulations of rules and regulation of Ekadashi, because that is very pleasing to Lord Janardhan. Is he entered the whole river alone to take a shower or take a bath and cut fast timely. So that shows here the Sanskrit word is two or only, means he entered alone. So this shows the eagerness. So that's what Prabhuji pointed yesterday. Like we must have eagerness, utsaha, nishchay, dharya to serve the Lord. And in Prabhuji's word, goal, desire, determination, right? The burning fire. So that's the takeaway here. So now the next slide here is verse 2, part 2 of 9. Nand enters the Kalandi on the day and takes the bath. So the first question now here is, what, why is that servant who arrested Nand Maharaj is called Asura? He's a servant of a demigod Varun, but why is he mentioned as Asura here?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Mataji,
Mataji,
continue.
go carry on, Mataji.
Carry on, Mataji.
Okay, Harsha Mataji or Rajkumari Mataji. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay,
Okay.
Raksha Mataji.
The servant is called an Asura because due to his caste, he did not know the Vaishnav Dharma. को वैष्णव धर्म के बारे में मालूम नहीं था. That's why he is called Asura.
And there is one more explanation on Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. You may read that also.
Ha.
He was ignorant of the Nanda position.
Correct. As a-
Foolishly ignorant, right?
He was foolishly ignorant, and because he did not know the Vaishnava Dharma, the timing calculation was very much correct, but still he thought Nand Maharaj is doing an offense. So that is there, and also he was not aware of the exalted position of the Nand Maharaj as a high class devotee, not just as a father of a supreme personality, nothing like that, but more about his exalted position. So we continue. Then next is, how did Krishna hear? Now when they arrested, when the servants they arrested Nand Maharaj, sorry, when the servant of Varun, this is so-called Asur, he arrested Nand Maharaj, the servants of Nand Maharaj were waiting outside, and they started to cry. Now, although they were far away from Krishna, Krishna could hear them cry and come quickly. So, what do our Acharya say? Although Krishna being far, how could he hear the cries and shout of these servants of Nand Maharaj, of his father?
Krishna is pervading everywhere. When he heard the cries of cowherd men, he understood that Nand Maharaj has entered the lake and Jumna. So that's why he
Correct.
became. He jumped. He quickly jumped into
Quickly
the
jumped. Yes, so
water.
So we say Upashrutya, that he is everywhere, and that's why he could. Thank you, Rajkumar Mataji. Correct answer. Then the next we go continue with the recap. So as soon as he jumps, so Krishna then understands the situation. He jumps in, and then he sees that he reaches the abode of Varuna, and then Varun, they understand his mistake, but he is very, very eager to receive Lord Krishna. So Krishna then initially is angry at this whole situation, but then his anger subsides. It reduces. Why would that be? Can you read through?
The servant was already afraid. So when Krishna approached, he was afraid, and
Yes.
Varun Devta, God, begged for forgiveness.
Correct.
So he became humble.
So yeah, initially Krishna was angry, but looking at the reaction or the uh, psychology of Varun Dev, he's already feeling sorry about it. It was not his intent, but it's servant's foolishness. He understands that, and then as we see, he will take the responsibility of that. So that melt down Krishna, and then his anger subsides. So now the next one. Who can transcend the path of material existence? Here, Varun Dev is offering prayers to the Lord, right? And he's feeling very, very. He's feeling
Who
very,
accept
very
the
concerned.
lotus feet?
Yes. So in his prayers, he's saying, "Tava padabhajo Bhagwan avapu param advana." That means those who accept the lotus feet, they can transcend this path of material existence and go to the transcendent world and get the goal of bhakti. So yes, right. Thank you, Mataji. So often it is stated that what happens is for those devotees, this bhavasagar, the ocean of material existence, will shrink to the footprint of a small calf, which is very, very small. So that can be easily crossed. Okay, then we go to the next slide now. Harsha Mataji, you gonna answer this because you tried. So in the Bhagavatam, we say often Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan, right? But here the sequence given by Varun Dev is, or explained by Acharya, is Bhagwan, Brahman, Paramatma. Why is that? Why is the sequence reversed here?
Sense of the term Brahman should be explained in terms of being the consequences of being Bhagwan, and the sense of Paramatma as being the consequence of being Brahman.
Yes. This is correctly explained in the higher order hierarchy to the lower on the manifestation of the Lord. So Bhagwan is the complete manifestation, then Brahman, then Paramatma. So that's how it is explained by the Acharya, and that's how it was used by Varun Dev. So then we continue now to slide 9. Here we say, after saying all the prayers, still Varun Dev is asking, he's not asking forgiveness, he's saying, okay, please punish me. Why is that? So who can answer? Lalita Mataji, Dipti Mataji, Rajiv Prabhu.
Actually, Varunadev is asking for punishment because he didn't behave appropriately in front of, Krishna's father, and he's still saying that I'm guilty of how I behaved or my servant behaved, and we took your father. So we are begging forgiveness, but we know that you are Bhaktavatsal, you are very you are very forgiving. So, but still I am, I deserve punishment. That was his.
So that is the, I would say, a perfect leadership of he had nothing to do. Unlike Indra or Brahma, he is not testing the Lord or he's upset with the Lord, taking away. But herein, it's his servant who mistakenly arrested Nand Maharaj, not knowing his the position of Nand Maharaj, and also the fact that he is correct. Nand Maharaj is correct here. So that's why Varun Dev takes that accountability and it's his humbleness here. That, okay, please punish me, don't forgive me, so that I do not. So that's a wonderful, reflection or reaction on how an aspiring devotee may want to respond to in case of offense. Right? So next, slide 10. Rajiv Prabhu, let's hear from you. Why did Varun Dev address Lord as Govinda? Anyone else? Rachna Mataji, yes.
Varun Dev addressed the Lord as Govinda because he was referring to that Abhishek which Indra had done. And because Indra had made an offense and later he had done this Abhishek and he had coronated Krishna as Govinda. So implying that Krishna was merciful to Indra, similarly he should also be merciful to Varuna.
Absolutely correct. So these are again wonderful prayers of Varun Dev. He is seeking for forgiveness and he is reminding him, oh, look, you pardoned Indra, so I am also, I am also seeking that pardon. So that's okay. Okay, slide 11. Dipti Mataji, let's hear from you now. What astonished Nand Maharaj? Why was Nand Maharaj astonished? Okay, so anyone else?
Nand Maharaj first time saw the opulence of Varun Dev. He was surprised to see that.
More than that, he was astonished to see that that fabulous opulence of Varun Dev, and also that he is yes, he is having so wonderful abode and all, and how he is
ruler of the ocean planet.
yes,
Lokpal.
yes, he's a ruler of the ocean planet or that demigod, and then looking at his opulence, Nand Maharaj is astonished, and also the fact that how they are all worshipping Krishna, right? So that is also. Okay, then we continue. Now, if someone can explain the difference between the prema of Rajvasis and the prema or love of Arjun and Vasudeva, what is the difference we see from here? How their reaction in this whole pastime?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
So compared to Arjuna, because when he said Vishwarupa, he was really he sees Aishwarya, and then he gets confused. I mean, rather, if it was putting illusion and he says, I called you by this name and all that, he laments for that. Whereas so that by seeing the opulence, their mood, their loving relation change for a momentarily, at least for Arjuna's case and other relation. But here, even though the Gopas and Nanda Baba, all they were saying, Krishna killing or so many demons and all that. So despite that, the loving relation to somebody, he was a friend or brother or something, all different relation, that did not change. So the relation of a loving relation triumphed over whatever they could see. I think that is the center meaning of that.
Absolutely right, Prabhuji. The loving relation of Brajvasis is so strong that it could not be overpowered by the Aishwarya or Krishna's majesty. They still think of him, although they heard the whole narration now from Nand Maharaj, how they worshipped, and even Nand Maharaj is now saying, "Oh, I think my son is Supreme Krishna, you got it." But yet their love for him is not changed. They are thinking, okay, oh, our son, he cannot be, but if he is okay, then can you give us this? That's what we will say. Whereas with Vasudeva, as you said rightly, and Arjun, they started asking for pardon and thinking of him as, when they thought of him as Supreme Krishna Deva. Now slide 13. Why now Krishna agrees to show them Brajvasis the Brahman and Vaikuntha place? Why does he do that?
Because of tasting the rich sweetness of Krishna Prema, these cowherd men understood the attainment of Brahman and Vaikuntha are insignificant. Nevertheless, and to realize the bliss of Brahman and Vaikuntha and to fulfill their desires of manifestation while playing the roles of unintelligent human beings, Krishna showed them.
Correct. So twofold thing. One is Krishna loves Brajvasis. Whatever they ask, he is bound by their love. And in the slides, we see also further that he is dependent on their love. Although he is completely independent, but he is bound and completely dependent on their love. So whatever they ask, he wants to fulfill that. Plus, here the Brajvasis are playing the role of us. So it's sort of an instruction for rest of us that how the position of Braj, the Gokul here is much superior to Brahman and Vaikuntha. That we will see. We saw that yesterday. We'll do in the revision. And 1 minute over, so I will just take a few more minutes and then. So then here we are at slide 15 now. So the next question: why the Brajvasis do not know about their abode? Like why don't they know why are they unaware of the superiority of their abode? What do you guys think?
Because the aspect of the awareness of the Aishwarya is covered by the absorption in sweetness.
Exactly. That phrase is so catchy. Absorption in the sweetness of Krishna. They are so absorbed in the sweetness of Krishna that they and the pastimes that they don't realize that their position is so exalted as compared to the Aishwarya position. So that is the factor here. Okay. Let's this last question and then I will cover the remaining quickly. What is the position of Brajvasis and Brajdham and Gopal Puri? What is the position of Brajvasis and Gopal Puri? I will put the question together as compared to the Brahman and Vaikuntha.
All the Brajvasis are Nitya Siddha, liberated associates of Lord who love Krishna in various relationships of intimacy. They are completely unaffected by ignorance, lust, or fruitive activity.
So these are Nitya Siddha. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving us much more details about the exalted position of Brajdham and the Gopal Puri, which is the residence of Lord Gopal. And this is much higher exalted position, and the Brahman realization and all that, that already is included in that. Right? So that is the two takeaway points if I have to pick. Okay. Now, since we are out of time, I will quickly read the question and the answer.
So
So
you
now,
can, it's okay. You go, feel free. Go ahead. Take another 10 minutes.
okay, then I should. Okay.
Yeah.
So now the next question here. So something went wrong. So why did Krishna separate the Brajvasis from? Why did Krishna separate Brajvasis from Vrindavan? The answer is here in the yellow. So Raksha Mataji, you want to try?
Krishna wanted to show the sweetness of Vrindavan was superior to Brahman even.
Yes.
And
So
Vaikuntha.
exactly, to fulfill their desire and to show them the superior, he now first separates them from that planet so that distinctly they can now see that how exalted their position is. Okay, and then the other aspect here was once a soul enters the Sayuja Mukti or Vaikuntha, there is always a possibility that he may never want to come back to Gokul. But herein, because they are very, very dear to Krishna, Krishna says that he's Vibhu, all powerful. He will take them out of this Sayuja Mukti uh, and the Vaikuntha. Right? So, although these abodes are beyond the Tamasaparam, they are beyond that. They are spiritual abodes, but still they are not the Vrindavan or Vaj. So there is always a possibility that a person may get stuck there. So, but herein Krishna will pull them out. That is why he thought that okay, let me show it to them. Now, how does Krishna show them this abode? Or let's say, sorry, herein the question would be why? Again, the answer is similar. Why is this? Why is this sweetness of Vrindavan? Sorry, I'm getting a message.
Vrindavan has is effulgent bliss.
So why don't they correct
extreme sweetness?
Again, the same point comes here again. Because of the extreme sweetness, the majestic or Aishwarya Bhav is covered. Last line here, I guess. So here again, the question would be, how did Krishna actually show them this Brahman and the Vaikuntha? So the answer is here in blue. If anybody, how did Krishna actually do this? This for the narration.
Krishna compared that with the lake, which is called Brahma Hrida.
Yes. So
which actually exists in the river Yamuna.
Yes. So he asked them to take a dip in the river and then pull them out again. So that's how he, the word left here is Udharata. He uplift them and then he gave them that realization of everything. And then we'll see in the next slide, what did they feel. Now, in the narration, Sukdev Goswami also mentions about the pastime of Akrura, that from this vantage point is where Akrura had the darshan of Bhagwan, of Lord Narayan or the spiritual world. Although that incident has not yet occurred as per the timeline, but Sukdev Goswami that mentions that happened in the past because fast forward, it's the Bhagavatam being narrated by Sukdev Goswami. So in that context, he is mentioning in the past. And although the incident of Akrura yet to happen. So now they get all the vision. So why are the cowherd men amazed here? What amazes them? What do they see?
To see that the kingdom of God had exactly the same spiritual atmosphere as their own Vrindavan, earthly Vrindavan. And he was, and just as in Vrindavan, Lord Krishna was personally present over there, over here, in Vrindavan. in front of them.
But here they were not
Yeah.
able to. Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
Yeah, so the contrast you are given is this is very important. That Krishna did not go and embrace them because that was awe and reverence, that kind of, whereas the Krishna was so casual with the Gopa friends in Vrindavan. So again, Lord wants to show that wherever you are there, my mercy is much more than actual Goloka or Goloka, Vrindavan or Vaikuntha. That the message that was the message, underlying message.
Correct. Absolutely right. So I think with that we finish the recap. Sorry, Prabhu, a little bit longer, but so important points, very difficult to figure out what to leave, what not to leave. So,
You did wonderful. What I like about this, the way you do it, you highlight the answer there so everybody can see it, Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. Oh, Guru Shri Prabhupada. Welcome back. So, let me first share my screen here. Everybody can see the screen?
Yes, Vaji. Yes.
I'm going to expand it, okay? Make it a full screen. Right. Now can you see it? Is it better?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday's discussion, I started thinking about it, how to satisfy two worlds, satisfy my needs and satisfy yours. So I decided not to unnecessarily tax you, having to stay longer. So what we are going to do a little bit differently, I'll try at least, since how it works out, okay? So far, if you noticed, we have been doing verse by verse discussion of our Acharya's commentaries, So much more detailed knowledge is there. But unfortunately, now we can't have that luxury because the commentaries in this Panchadhyayi, first of all, what is Panchadhyayi? Pancha means 5, Adhyaya means chapters. So it is a set of 5 chapters. And these all 5 chapters is talking about Krishna's Rasa Leela, okay? Setting up the stage, calls the gopis, and what happens later on, we'll see. So that is what the stage is there. And the Acharya's commentaries are voluminous. Just in this one chapter, about approximately 200 pages long commentaries are there, okay? And there are many commentaries, of course, obviously, but I focus only on mostly on Sridhar Swami Maharaj, who is the original one, and everybody respects very high, including Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then everybody else really takes a lead from Sridhar Swami Maharaj and then expand on their own aspect of it, So Sridhar Swami Maharaj commentary then follows up by Sri Sanatana Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami actually published a book on the commentaries of 10th canto. It's called Brihad Vaishnav Toshani. Wonderful book, actually, and then before publishing, he asked his nephew, that is Jiva Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, to edit it. So while Srila Jiva Goswami editing it, he kind of, what he did, he modulated a little bit because Sridhar Swami Maharaj commentary tend to be little bit slanting towards Advaitavada philosophy, okay? But he is a devotee turned from Advaitavada, okay? So Shiva Goswami didn't want that. So Srila Sanatana Goswami was very, very respectful of Sridhar Swami Maharaj also, and plus he was giving on. So when Jiva Goswami started editing it, and then he put it under his own called Laghu Vaishnava Tausani. Brahad means large, Laghu means smaller. So he did that. Okay, and then later on came Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who really give wonderful, wonderful commentary based on all these senior Vaishnavas, respecting them. But at the same time, he gave much more details of it. And not only that, he gives it in a language he has written easy to understand and comprehend. As many of you might have noticed that. So that's what I've been focusing on. Okay, Sridhar Swami Maharaj, Sanatana Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. But more and more, I'm going to elaborate, rely on Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, okay? And it's a voluminous, okay? So we are not going to do verse by verse, but combining verses, okay? And something else I'm going to try that. Instead of giving straightaway commentaries that I have been doing so far in their own words, what I'm going to do this time, make an attempt to put it in my words, okay? Condense it, paraphrase it, and so on like that, okay? And again, it's in the mind map format. So, 100-page commentary, I can reduce it and yet do not lose the basic elements of what these our acharyas are saying, okay? So unnecessary words, I reduce it, but keep the essence of it, the soul of the commentary intact. Okay, that's my attempt. You are the judge. Okay, you will be the judge. How am I doing? So we may make some course correction beyond a midpoint. Okay, as we approach midpoint, it's Panchadhyay, about close to about 5-6 chapters. Then we might make adjustment. Okay. So what you see in this slide, and you will see my approach. It's a really innovative approach. Okay, first time I'm doing that, so we are experimenting it, right? And I'm basically, I have a scientific mind, so I always find some different ways, innovative ways. So here in this first slide, what you see, an overall view, a bird's eye view of the entire Panchadhyay. Okay, and the book that I've been using, this is now the 6th volume of this book, Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto Commentary, but it's called the editor calls it a symptom of commentaries on the 10th Canto. Okay, so he takes commentaries, compiles not just 4 or 5 major, but even many minor commentaries also. Something like 8-10 commentaries are there. So I'm not paying much on that. Even then also, these major commentaries or acharyas It's like I said, it's anywhere 150 to 200 pages long for this 5 chapters. So I've been making an attempt to really paraphrase, putting in a thematic way, key themes I identified, and then elaborate briefly. Okay, and then depending upon how much time we get during the discussion period, we might even further expand that. Okay, basically whatever I read and studied. But actually, in the class time, I'm going to be very, very conscious about timings. So today is just an introductory class. So we are going to take it a little lightly, but as we get into it, you will see the time pressure is going to be quite considerable. Okay? So here in this first slide, it's an introduction of this Pancha Adhyay Rasa Lila. Actually, Rasa Lila is not the appropriate word, our acharyas point out. They use a different word, Rasa Krida. Ras, dance, is there, but Krida, it's a play, actually, in a way, So that's what Krishna is doing that. The Panchadhyaya, as I defined already, it's a set of 5 chapters. Okay, and it's as you can see, Rasa is actually the mellow is there, Rasa. In fact, Chaitanya Krishna has been described as a Rasika. A rough translation of Rasika means very romantic, and he is very, very romantic person. Yeah, Krishna. No, none of the other his incarnation has that kind of sweetness that he has. So you can see that chapter 62, lesson 62 to all the way lesson 72, we will encompass these 5 chapters. All right. And right there in the title of this Panchadhyay, I added Shringar Rasa. Shringar Rasa is the very, very Madhurya Rasa, actually. Mention it much, much more elaborately. Shringar Rasa is really gopis and Krishna, they really dress up and prepare for that. That's why Shringar Rasa. And he's Rasika. He is very, very particular how he dresses, how he comes across, and he's very, very chapala in speaking, Vaka Chatura. And that's what attracts gopis very much. And the way he used to look in a sidelong glance, that's his signature glance, okay? And that I'll show you how alambana, the technical word I'm going to tell you in a moment, alambana and the uddipana, that is coming out the way he looks at the gopis, So Shringar Rasa, and as you can see, chapter 62 to 65, lesson 62 to 65, we are going to discuss chapter 29, the first of the 5 chapters. Okay. So there are 48 verses are there, and that is basically a foreplay of the rasa dance. And I'm sure everybody understood what is foreplay. It's the setting the stage, the introducing the players, and so on like that. So there are 48 verses are there in chapter 29, and probably one of the most expansive chapter compared with the rest of the chapters. Almost 50% of the is right here. Okay, we'll see that. Then, so that is chapter 29, setting a stage, and he invites, and in a very romantic way he invites. He calls the gopis through his murli. bansi, his flute. Just like he addresses cows one by one by each names, there are hundreds of thousands of cows, and through his flute playing, he would call the cows. Same way, he's also addressing each of the gopis in this flute music, and there are 3 or 4 elements, very very important elements, as we begin starting tomorrow, next week onwards, that sets up his mood. And remember the promise he gave to those unmarried gopis who were observing a vow that to please Mother Katyayani, Goddess Katyayani, so that they can have Krishna as their husband. Okay, and we saw that how he stole their garments, playing it in a very sweet way, trick with them, and then he was very pleased with them, and he promises them that very soon you will enjoy with me. So this quote unquote enjoyment that he made a decision at that point, and what are the factors that involved, that we will see next week. Okay, today, as I told you, it's just an introduction, setting the stage. Okay, so this is the chapter 29. It's a setting the stage, foreplay of the rasa dance. And then chapter 30, there are 44 verses are there. The gopis come now. They left everything in the middle of it. Some gopis were cooking something, some were serving their husbands, some were carrying out the cleaning of the room and so on like that. Some were cooking. Even while the stove was on, milk was boiling over, they left everything and rushed in the middle of the night. Okay, and then we'll see the classification of many gopis are there actually. There are Nitya Siddha gopis and the other Sadhana Siddha gopis, and among Sadhana Siddha gopis also there are various classes are there. So all these details we'll see later. Okay, so they came rushing, because that's what Krishna wanted them to come. Okay, but when they came, Krishna said, you should go back. And he started giving lecture on Vedic injunctions that you're all married. What are you doing in the middle of the night and seeing a young boy like me? It's against the Vedic injunctions. Completely opposite. He is the one who summoned them. Okay. So the gopis were terribly, terribly dejected by that. So we will see he gets in the argument that he's building a case that they ought to go back to the village. Okay, and gopis in turn counter arguments presents it. So that is very interesting part. So 50% of that and 50% of that is there. It's all about. Okay, and then of course gopis didn't want to go, and Krishna tested his method to make sure that they really have that kind of resolve to see Krishna. Okay, that's what Krishna does. So here we are going to see, before meeting takes place, Sambhoga, there is a Vipralamba, separation. So he let them taste what is Vipralamba, what is the, it's a sweet pain, मीठी सी कसक ऐसा कहते हैं हिंदी में, थोड़ी चुभन होती है पर मीठी सी चुभन होती है, तो वो प्यार में, प्रेम में बहुत ही लुभावनी होती है. So he gives the taste of Vipralamba. He started the dance, rasa dance, but noticing these gopis were getting little, feeling themselves pride. He was dancing with all the gopis, In fact, there is a little confusion about it. On one hand, some acharyas are saying that he multiplied himself in as many gopis as he, okay? So, but other acharyas saying, no, he did not multiply, but he is so rapidly, moving around Chapalta, as he was dancing on the hood of Kalia snake, that we saw that, right? So quickly dancing around as if like you have a movie. Movie is what? It is made of each frame, and you move the frame quickly enough. Each frame lasts about 1/16th of a second. And when you move around, so that looks like it's a motion. So here Krishna is actually not multiplying, but he is moving so fast to an onlooker, it seemed like that he replicated himself thousands of times. Okay. And each gopi felt that he's dancing for them only. Okay. So that developed a pride that I am somebody, And Krishna never likes that. We'll see the very interesting way our acharyas define the name Madana Mohana. Madana Mohana actually meaning is that Madan is a Cupid, Kamadev. Kamadev bewilders everyone, right? But Krishna, even bewilders Cupid himself. He is the Cupid of the Cupid, And so Madana Mohan is like that. Madana means Cupid. Mohana means he bewilders even the Cupid. But here the acharyas sort of split that word, Madana Mohana. Madana, no pride, no moha, no illusion, no bewilderment. So that is called Madana Mohana. I like that very much, So there we'll see that. But the main important point here that I would like you to focus on that this whole Rasa Lila, the very, very important element, first Vipralamba, first separation. Okay. And then when you meet, you really value the significance of Milana, Sambhoga. Yeah, somebody's saying something. Microphone is on. Somebody's. Please turn off the microphone, please. So, in chapter 31, so Krishna leaves the gopis in the middle of the dance, middle of the rasa dance. Suddenly, abruptly, disappears. Antardhyana, and gopis become terribly disturbed. They're looking around. What happened? So that was the reason he wanted to curb the pride of the gopis. They were suddenly feeling that they are something, and now Krishna is made after me only, me alone, So he leaves them. But there is another reason, hidden reason there. Actually, what happened, Srimati Radharani was one of the gopis there, okay? Not only those unmarried gopis were there, part of that group, but the Radharani, Chandravali, all other gopis were there too also. And we did this thing in Ujjvala Nilamani. So Radharani became kind of disturbed that Krishna was giving equal time to all other gopis and kind of ignoring her. So she left first, actually. So when she left and Krishna noticed it, Krishna also leaves the dance. In fact, that reason comes later on. Okay? But meanwhile, hota kya hai? These gopis were suddenly become disturbed when Krishna left and looking all around. So that is the Vipralamba, separation. And they are looking all over the world, all over the forest. They're asking trees, they're asking deer, and so on like that. Have you seen Krishna like that in that Chitra Jalpa, but the two elements I want you to notice here, Vipralamba and Sambhoga. Okay? So you need to know what are those words means actually. We did complete and a very elaborately in Sri Ujjvala Nilamani course, 48 lessons, okay? And that's where that Ujjvala Nilamani, it's also called Ujjvala Rasa. That is what called Shringar Rasa. The Shringar Rasa, there are two segments of it. One is a Vipralamba, another one is a Sambhoga. Okay? And then the third element, Shringar Rasa, so there are different rasas are there. Okay? Varieties of rasas. So these three elements are very critical, prerequisite in order to understand this Pancha Adhyaya Lila, Pancha Adhyaya Rasa Lila. So for of that, I've decided to review Sri Ujjvala Nilamani, not the entire Ujjvala Nilamani, only that part which is relevant. And in relevance in terms of, you must have a clear-cut understanding what is Vipralamba, separation, and the milan which comes after separation when they meet together. Okay? So there are subclasses also. And then various rasas that develop. Okay? Vibhava, Anubhava, and so on like that. We'll in a moment I'll see. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to review the principal elements of Sri Ujjvala Nilamani as relevant to our Pancha Adhyaya Rasa Leela. All right. So this again, let me review this slide again. It's given overview of the Pancha Adhyaya, 5 chapters. The first one is chapter 29, where Krishna summons the gopis by playing the flute, and how he himself, there are 4 elements are there that he himself came into this romantic mood. Okay, moon plays a role, the forest plays a role, the flowers blooming, lotus flower blooming unseasonably in the middle of the night, that also puts him in that kind of special mood, romantic mood, you know. So all those elements called alambana, he is the alambana primarily. Okay, he sets up, uddipana means prajvalit, he sets the very pleasing fire in the heart of the gopis. That's uddipana, you know. So we'll define that terms. So are you so far with me now? I gave you a very overview of this Pancha Adhyaya. Okay, and these 3 or 4 elements we need to have a clear understanding. So now let's take a bird's eye view of Sri Ujjvala Nilamani. So here, a broad overview of Sri Ujjvala Nilamani relevant to our study of Pancha Adhyaya. Okay, so here you see it's A, B, C, and D is there. Okay, I split into 2 slides. So A is the integration of the 9 progressive stages of Madhura or Ujjval Rati. Rati means attachment, prema. Okay, for devotees, like we already saw in Madhurya Kadambini, that course we did, right? Shraddha to prema, right? But this starts after getting that prema. So this prema is a very high level prema, extremely high level prema. Only the gopis can have that, you know. We are struggling to even get through this 3rd stage of ordinary, Shraddha to prema, you know. So there are 9 stages that prema. Okay. Oh, and what are those? So that is discussed at great length in Sri Ujjvala Nilamani. Coming all the way to Mahabhava. Even Mahabhava is further split into subgroups. So what are the 9 stages? Rati, Prema, Sneha, Mana, Pranaya, Raga, Anuraga, Bhava, and Mahabhava. And Mahabhava is further divided into 2 types. Okay, Rudha, Ati Rudha Bhava. So we will quickly review that. So these elements are required. These elements will come when we talk about Pancha Adhyaya Rasa Leela. Okay. And there are two subgroups of the Shringar Rasa. Okay, as I told you, Vipralamba, separation, and there are separation and the Sambhoga. Okay, the two broad subgroups. And each subgroup is further divided into four each of further subclassification. So one separation is this called Purva Raga, and we came across that word quite a few times. Purva Raga means the lovers have not physically met. Let me qualify that statement. It's not exactly correct. As you know, Krishna and the gopis, they grew up right from beginning, childhood. They knew each other, they met each other. But before they come to the Kaishora stage, teenage stage, when they really develop that romantic feeling for each other, that is what that raga developed, that the romantic mood came at that point. They were little children only, that time it's not there. So even though they were there together, but they have not met physically in the sense romantic way, they never saw each other. So that's called Purva Raga. Okay, Raga means great attachment, having heard from someone the glorification of Krishna. Okay, all the great fantastic things that Krishna did, not only killing the demons and so on like that, but some amazing things that he did, lifting Govardhan hill, subduing Kalia and so on like that, when he was 6-7 years old, But as we know, at right beginning, I told you when we started 10th canto, Krishna is ordinarily a human child come to teenage. Teenage means 13, 14, like that, okay? But Krishna matures much early. Even at this age of 8-9 years old, he developed this Kaishora Bhava, okay? At 3-4 years earlier than that. So we already beginning to see that Kaishora Bhava, how he was playing around with the gopis, even that when he was just 8-9 years old, So that is where the Purva Raga begins, developing before meeting actually. So then Mana means a jealous anger, but it's a sweet kind of jealous anger, in great love, attachment. Lover gets a little mad, I won't speak to you, like that. So this Mana, what is Mana, that we need to understand that. Then Prema Vaichityam, that is, they might be coming together, but Krishna might disappear any minute. And they know, gopis know, Krishna can disappear just like lightning speed. So they feel separation even while in the meeting. In meeting, they feel separation. And in separation, they think they emerge daydreaming that they are meeting. That is romance. And then pravasa, short time, long time. Short time when he goes during the daytime, herding the cows in the forest, the gopis couldn't wait when the evening will come and we can see our bright beloved Krishna. Okay, short time. But then he lives for long time when he leaves Vrindavan and goes to Mathura. Okay, so that is long. Ultimate separation comes. So this is the 4 subcategories of Vipralamba, and Krishna does deliberately to prajavalit, the fire of love. But that fire is not burning kind of fire. Meet his ichuban. Okay, kasak. And that builds up the romanticism, the aturta कहते हैं. इसका कोई English word ही नहीं है. That comes pretty close to it. Aturta, utsukta. Then Sambhoga comes ultimately. In each of the 4 categories, there's a millet there, okay? So in Purva Raga, when they never met before in a romantic way, physically they met, but not in a romantic way. The first time when they see each other, little like teenagers, don't know how to act. Even Krishna also act like that. Little shyness is there. How to touch your beloved, and so on like that. Okay. So that is called Sankshipta. Sankshipta means short time only. So that's Purva Raga. It originates from that Purva Raga, first time meeting, and both partners are feeling uneasy, shyness is there, and all these things. But here longing there for both of them, each other. Then Sankirna, and that is coming from Mana. Temporarily, your beloved gets mad at you. Okay? I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to look at you. But inside, they don't want to go away. कहते हैं ना कि होठों पे ना पर दिल में हाँ. Sampanna, then ultimately satisfaction comes in this pravasa. When he really goes pravasa, and then comes whole day he's in the forest, whole day gopis are waiting. So hard. They say that why Brahmaji created this palaka, eyelids. 1/16th of a second, it closes around. But even during that time, they couldn't afford to miss, absence of Krishna. When the evening will come, that 12 hours period, it feels like a whole yuga, So that they realize that is why Krishna gives this Vipralambha, and we devotees get difficulty. Krishna sometimes when you go at advanced stage, he deliberately gives difficulty so that longing, the मिलने की आतुरता बढ़ती जा रही है. चुभन, मीठी सी चुभन, कसक. Sampanna, then when there's a close means just goes forest, but then there's a long one going to Mathura. And so after that, when they meet first time during this sun eclipse of the sun, that is called Samriddha Mata. That's the real value of it. Even that also temporary. So that's coming after distant pravasa. So now you got a pretty good idea what is Vipralambha, what is the main cause for that, why Krishna does that deliberately, to increase and learn the value of longing for your beloved. Then जब मिलन होता है तो मिलन की कुछ और ही है, उसको कुछ डिस्क्राइब नहीं कर सकते हम. So then comes Sambhoga, Milan. But then Milan is also anytime Krishna can disappear. So the back of the mind of gopis, that longing is continuously there, building up. And every second, every minute, they want to enjoy maximally the association of Krishna. Okay, now we'll see the rasas. The transformation of sthai bhava. Sthai bhava means stabilized bhava. There are other bhavas are there temporarily, ultimately stabilizes to a particular extent. Okay, so transformation sthai. What is sthai bhava? Is the stabilized bhava, essential aspect of one's state of mind, and that is the rasa, aesthetic. Aesthetic, the rough translation is beauty part of it. Rasa is that. किसी चीज में हम सुंदरता देखने की कोशिश करें, you have to have vision of beauty. जैसे खाने के लिए टेस्ट होना जरूरी है, पहले आंखों से देखे, आंखों से उसको टेस्ट कीजिए, फिर नाक से सुगंध से उसका टेस्ट कीजिए, before you actually put it in your mouth. Then you really relish the food. All the rasas must come in. all the digestive juices should be flowing around right in the mouth, looking at the food. And the way it is being presented, served, परोसना, वो भी एक आर्ट है. किस तरह से परोसा जाए, कितने भाव से भोग तैयार करते हैं भगवान के लिए, ये सब भगवान देखते हैं. तो फर्स्ट रसा is called vibhava, and there are two elements of vibhava. Okay? Vibhava means the karana, the reason, how it develops, the cause. Okay? Alambana, कुछ ऐसी चीज हमारे बिलोड में हो जो हमें उसके लिए अट्रैक्ट हो जाते हैं. ये कृष्ण की तिरछी नजर, देखने का अंदाज, हंसने की छटा, the way he play flute, this takes away the heart. हार्ट की जो कंपन होती है वो भगवान ले जाते हैं. तो गोपियां बड़े आह्लादक समझते हैं ना. चुभन होती है वो तो मीठी सी चुभन है. तो आलम्बना, कृष्णा is the one who creates that thing. Okay, by and large, but sometimes Krishna also attracts to gopis the way Radharani sees at him. आना चाहती है पर पास भी नहीं आएंगी, you know. तो alambana means the personal or human object and substratum. Means he creates, just like here Krishna, as we'll see next week, will actually begin Madhur, first of the season, Sharad Rutu, Makshara. I was born in that Margashesha, you know. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, it's the best month, you know. Not cold, not hot. और फिर रात में जो उस पूर्णिमा होती है जो मार्गशीर्ष में मंथ में है, full moon and the brightest moon that particular night comes, and that's when Krishna arranged through his yogamaya potency dealing with his gopis, you know. So how he got turned on, that's not a right word actually, turning on, because this prema is completely different, you know. तो चांदनी रात है, सूरज का प्रकाश, सूरज तो नहीं है, चांद, बड़ी सुहावनी मौसम है, you know. The fragrance of the lotus flowers are there. All the birds are chirping around. The deers are coming near to Krishna. All these things are turning on Krishna. And he remembered his promise he made to this virgin gopis, unmarried gopis, that I will. So he wanted to fulfill that promise also, you know. So then he decided to enjoy, you know. Now, word enjoy is a spiritual enjoyment. The material enjoyment is lust. The spiritual enjoyment is prema. प्रेमा हृदय से, मन से किया जाता है. The lust, you involve your body parts. That's the difference. किसी हृदय से हम किसी को आलिंगन करें, हृदय से, हृदय मिले, उनकी कंपन, you match with the comfort of your beloved. That enjoyment इसका कुछ और ही है. इनका कोई वर्णन नहीं किया जा सकता है. Indescribable. So then that alambana creates that kampana on the beloved's heart, and that's called uddipana. Uddipana means lightening a lamp. A lamp lightens and its jyota, flame, becomes prajwalit. प्रेम की जो आग भड़कने लगती है, और वो बहुत अच्छी, बहुत ग्रेट है वो आग, उसे आग कहते हैं, मगर आग नहीं है. सूरज की प्रकाश और चंद्रमा के प्रकाश कितना फर्क है. तो दैट उद्दीपना, द एक्साइटमेंट्स or effects of emotion, all the rasas develop. Seeing a very tantalizing food, it creates the digestive juices before you will put it in mouth. That's what it is. So then this alambana, uddipana, that's called vibhava, when vibhava comes, interacts, slowly going to stabilize in a particular bhava, that's high bhava or stabilized, resulting from combination of different bhavas. What are the other bhavas? There are some temporary and so on like that. So this mixing of these bhavas that results into particular rasa. Okay? Vyabhichari bhava, transitory. The name transitory means temporary. Psychologically, states or voluntary reactions. There are 31 kinds of vyabhichari bhavas. Sanchari bhava. Sanchara means sanchar karna means moving around, transitionally, transition. So that is called sanchari bhava. Sanchari bhava. These passing feelings which are ancillary, cooperating, coordinating to a mood, particular mood होता है, उस mood में जो ये भाव होता है, उसे called संचारी भाव, temporarily. Then called anubhava, sattvic bhava, the influence or effects of emotion. तो ये overview होगा रसा. और ये सब व्यभिचारी भाव और श्रृंगार रसा, they are all actors in that. They all must coordinate in a musical way. Particular raga must develop, and then that music is created, and then the relish Krishna feels. That's what he's doing that. And he is the originator of all the rasa. He's a rasika. And Srila Rupa Goswami is a rasika acharya, you know. Okay, moving forward, I get carried away. So this is again from Ujjvala Nilamani course that we did. The two types of Sringar Rasa. So this is what I already explained to you. Now we are going to see it. I introduce you parts way, okay? Now we are putting the parts together. So Vipralamba, separation, there are 4 types. Purvaraga, due to our meeting, first time you're meeting, uneasiness is there, clumsiness is there, mana, फिर कहते हैं ना कि कुछ शिकवा हो कुछ शिकायत तो मजा जीने का और भी होता है. Partial covering. पास आ रहे हैं नहीं, वो उसे कहते हैं मान कहते हैं. Due to jealous anger, you know, and we studied in great detail. This mana comes from actually when you have that intense love. That jealousy comes from that the person loves you so much. That's why that can bear to share, you know, that one. So Radharani does that, you know. So then called prema vaichityam. Kuch mintu ka milta hai, and beloved is going away. Krishna is going to go away any minute. So make the best of it. Do an imagine separation. Separation hasn't yet happened, but मन में हो रहा है कि कृष्ण चले जाएंगे, तो they can't even fully enjoy those few seconds, few minutes of meeting with Krishna. तो ये longing जो होती है, that's what Krishna relishes. And then of course he goes to pravasa, trip, short trip, long trip, and so like that. So these are the 4 kinds. From each of those 4 kinds, there are corresponding milan is there. So these are 4 types of this sambhoga there, milan. There are main kinds and there are subsidiary kinds. Each of them coming from especially from that. So like first one, mukhya, primary one that comes, you know, and each is coming from the pravas. From Purvaraga comes that, from Mana comes that, from Prema Vaichitya comes like that, you know. So I won't go into detail, but basically they're all interconnected. प्रेम, जुदाई और मिलन दोनों की एक संगीत बन जाते हैं, संगीत का राग बन जाता है, you know. Okay, now we'll see how this initial rati develops into Mahabhava and more even deeper than that. So rati is initially, and rati itself, there are subgroups. Now, because of the lack of time, I'm going to move around, but I want you to remember the main aspect of it. Do not bother going into, at this point, in subgroups that much, okay? But I'll touch upon what it is. So rati, there are four kinds. Sadharan rati, ordinary, okay? Rati means longing for, attachment for, okay? Samanjas rati, queens of Dwarka have that, and then Samartha rati, that is the Gopi rati. Samartha rati is superior to Samanjasa rati, and this Sadharan rati is the Kubja example is given that, okay? Then this rati develops in the prema, okay? And prema, there are mild kind of prema is there, madhyam kind of intermediate, and there are intensified prema is there, okay? Prouda, mature. Then prema further develops into sneha. And sneha also, there are two kinds, Grita sneha and Madhu sneha. Grita means deep, Chandravali's pyar, prem hota hai, wo is kind, that kind. Where Radharani is Prajvalit, always teasing Krishna, that Madhu sneha. Naturally sweet, informally, he is all my. So in a Grita sneha is like that. Deep respect is there. Chandravali has that, and among the queens, Rukmini has that. Satyabhama is Prajvalit, firing type of love, and Krishna enjoys both kind of love. So Madhu Sneha, that's naturally sweet and very possessive. Krishna is all mine. The other one, I belong to Krishna. Other, Radharani, no, Krishna is all mine. I can't share with anyone. But she does share Krishna with her gopi friends, She herself would send. Then Mana, ये प्रेम में होता है. Lalita Mana from Madhu Sneha, all this specific kind of sneha, this is a specific kind of mana is develops, Udatta, and then this mana develops into pranaya. But sometimes pranaya comes first, and from pranaya mana comes, or from mana comes pranaya. When intensified love is there, pranaya, really deep longing for each other, So there's a Maitreya kind, that comes from Grita Sneha, and then there is a Sakya, which is a superior kind, which comes from Madhu Sneha, Then Pranaya, Mana, either of, they are both in the similar level. They come in to develop a raga, initial attachment, can't stand separation. Then Raktima, firing kind. Nilima, mild kind. Like that. Then Mana and Pranaya, they produce each other there. We just saw that. So then these subclasses, we won't go into that. So this raga further matures into anuraga. So anu means something following. Okay. So raga is the anuraga that develops further, much more intensified, much more solidified. Okay. That is anuraga. And then comes the stage of bhava, the rasas going to secrete, bhava. And then bhava comes to mahabhava, okay? And that is only Sri Radha has that, Sri Radhaji hai. And that bhava still further develops, the complexity increases. We'll see in a moment. But this mana and the subcategories. So right now, because lack of time, I won't go into detail. But when you go home, just review it. Okay, all these things we'll be seeing as we see this Panchadhyaya. Okay. So this Mahabhava It further develops the Rudha Mahabhava, Aniruddha, Adhiruddha Bhava. Adi means much more increased, excessive, So when the Sattvic Bhavas become Udipta, really prajvalit ho jati hai, it's a very, very illuminating kind, That's called Udipta, Mahabhava. So then this Radha develops. Then again, Adhiruddha Bhava also further develops. So you can imagine, you have to have imagination power. Unless you have imagination power, you cannot relish this thing, मिलने से पहले ही अपने बिलोड के बारे में सोचते हैं, तो प्रेम प्रज्वलित है, तो रस डेवलप सेक्रेट हो जाते हैं, रग रग में, every second, every element of your body is experiencing, tasting the rasa and great longing for your lover. The condition which couple exhibits all sattvic bhavas, extreme uddipta stage. And there are again 5. So you see, it's becoming much more. So this is what Rupa Goswami goes in so great detail, Rupa Goswami is the author of Ujjvala Nilamani. So when the Anubhavas attain an inconceivably greater excellence than those of Rudha Bhava and conditional Adhiruddha Bhava and so like develops. And then they call Madana Bhava, and then they call Divya Unmada, the madness, but the divine madness. Here, Radharani, there is a little bumblebee is there going around, okay? And she thinks that bumblebee is the messenger sent by Krishna, And first she shows some anger, but that loving kind of anger, So that happens in Divya Unmada. And still Divya Unmada goes further. Udghurna, Chitra Jalpa. There are 10 kinds of Chitra Jalpas are there. So all these things, so great details, our acharyas are explaining that. Okay, now the bhava is going to a little deeper. So relevant to our study of Panchadhyay. So transformation. So first I told you that. First vibhava, palambana, uddipana, that create vibhava. And vibhava develops into further rasas. And the rasas, particular rasa is going to mature, stabilized, and that's called sthai bhava. And these are the bhavas. So these bhavas intermingle each other, and that comes into rasa. Particular rasa is going to develop, Shanta rasa, Sakhya rasa, and all kind of. But now we are talking about the supreme kind of love. That's Madhurya rasa, Shringar rasa, that we are talking about, okay? So all these things we already touched upon. At this point, we can only do touching upon, This is a vast subject. So Madhurya Rati, So Sthai Bhava or Shringar Rasa or Madhurya Rati, Ujjwal Rati, so many different names has been described as. Okay. May Mukunda, who is mortally, look at the word in a poetic way, it is given that. Who is mortally wounded. Mortally means not killing. But heart ko killing ki tarah feeling hota hai. My lover is killing me. Such powerful glance of the gopis that gopis also sometimes act as a uddipana. Okay, Radharani का मान जो होता है रूठ जाती है, मनाना पड़ता है कृष्ण को, पैर पड़ना पड़ता है. Krishna is to bow down to her lotus feet also, and Radharani loves that, So sometimes she acts like that also. So it's like a biting of a snake, poisonous snake. It is here mentioned as a mortal, but it's not physically mortal actually. दिल की जो फीलिंग्स है, जो ठेस पहुंचती है, मीठी सी ठेस पहुंचती है, दुखद होती है कभी कभी, मगर फिर भी प्यारी लगती है, मीठी लगती है कि मेरे प्रेमी मुझे कितना प्यार करता है. Black snake who pulverizes the heart of. Look at the way how poetically it's put, pulverizes the heart of the chest gopis. That's what Krishna does that, especially Radharani. Who actually he goes to her rival gopis, Chandravali, but his heart is still with Radha. Krishna's heart is always with Radha, with his wondering red rolling eyes. All this, the way Krishna does this thing, reddish eyes, like that. And Vak Chaturta, very smart way, charming way he speaks. कहते हैं कि कृष्ण कोई लड़की ऐसी नहीं है सारे संसार में, तीनों लोकों में, कि अपनी चेस्टिटी को संभाल सके जब कृष्ण को देखती है तो. When the demigoddesses flying in the air in their airplanes, when they saw Rasalila was going on here on the earth, they started feeling the bhavas. Their husbands are there, devas are there with them still. So Rupa Goswami begins with an introductory prayer of auspiciousness. Krishna is bitten just by the astonishment of the glances of the gopis, just like जहरीले सांप ने डंक दिया, प्रेम डंक दिया, वो चुभनती हो वैसी लगती है, it is hurting sometimes, sure, definitely, revealing their prowess like the tips of a tongue of a black snake. Krishna is a sthai bhav for the gopis. Being bitten implies that he has attained that rasa. And Krishna does this thing. He enjoys, relishes, and he gives the same rasa, creates that same rasa in the gopis' heart. Who is this little girl? Who is this girl? First time say, yaad aati hai dekho. Who is this girl near Govardhan Hill who's firing arrows of glance above her ruby earrings? वो कृष्णा उसकी तिरछी नजर देखते राधा रानी की, वो कैसे देखते पता है, वो जो रिंग होते आई रिंग होते हैं सर्कुलर, वो रिंग के अंदर से नजर जाती है उसकी एक झलक लेने के लिए, एक झलक होती है सिर्फ, indicating depth by the movement of her eyebrows agitates me with confusion. That's what Krishna is saying that. Okay. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti says, while having indicated the sthai bhava for the gopis, Rupa Goswami now indicates that the Radha whose rati is for him through her sidelong glance from the corners of her heart. And exactly the same way Krishna does that to her. The elders are there. Okay? So clearly they cannot meet each other right away. But एक दूसरे की नजर चुरा लेते हैं, देख लेते हैं किसी भी तरह. Because they have to, उसकी आमनियां रखनी पड़ती है. Elders, elderly people, gopis, elderly, their parents are there, somebody is there. So clearly they cannot see one directly with that. इसमें और भी मजा है. This one it's distantly thing, but I think you should review it. Okay, ये अंतःकरण, we might come across that also. Okay. So now, brief introduction to this down. Now, so far we have reviewed it. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a very quick bird's eye view of this whole Panchadhyay. Nature of the soul is rasa. That's the very nature. Spirit of the love is the very nature of the rasa. The highest sense, bliss mixed with astonishment, because it is reflected to an extent on the mind. देखो मैंने कहा ना, it's not physical. It's all मन and heart. You experience that excitement, turning on, not physically, turning on the heart, turning on the man. मन की तरंगे उठती है प्रेम में. That prema, it's not lust. So that kind of love, that kind of feelings, that what gopis call lust, but that lust is a spiritual lust. मन की तरंगे उठना है, मन में अनुभव करना है, हृदय में उसकी कंपन फीलिंग होनी चाहिए. That is the kind of so-called sex that we talk about is that the transcendental sex is that मन को लुभाना, मन से एंजॉय करना, हृदय से एंजॉय करना, हृदय की कंपन है, एक दूसरे के कंपन, उनकी जो राग है ट्यून अप करना दोनों साथ में, उसी एक ताल में होना चाहिए। तो वो प्यार होता है, वो प्रेम होता है, वो सेक्स। उसको सेक्स नहीं कहते हैं, उसका कोई वर्णन ही नहीं है, उसका वर्ड ही नहीं किया जाता है, मन से अनुभव किया जाता है। But the Panchadhyaya contains both the apex means the ultimate sima, vipralamba, separation. That's the primary element of such love we are talking about. जो मन का लव है, हृदय का लव है, हृदय का प्रेम है, वो पराकाष्ठा कब होती है? पराकाष्ठा मीन्स अल्टीमेट लिमिट, विप्रलंब। और उस विप्रलंब जुदाई में ही उसकी कंपन के अनुभव हो सकती है। बिना जुदाई वो कंपन फीलिंग नहीं होगी। जुदाई के बाद जो मिलन होता है, और जुदाई में भी you think about your premi, what he must be doing, what she must be doing, like that. Every moment, every second, you're thinking about that. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. वो कंपन हमें एक डिवोट की तरह हमें भी उससे ऐसी कंपन होनी चाहिए। The heart of the 5 chapters comprising 19 verses of chapter 31, that is the Gopi Gitam. I can hardly wait to hear from Raksha Mataji. So she does so beautifully. Gopi Gitam, कितने भाव से गाती हो. Sung by Vraj Gopis, extending over the. So ये गोपीस उनके विरह में, जुदाई में कृष्ण चले जाते हैं, तब वो गाती है, बड़े रो के गाती है, सारे पंछी को पूछती है, हिरणी को पूछती है, पेड़ों को पूछती है कि मेरे कृष्ण कहाँ है? So that is what Krishna creates, that, So Krishna played the flute, and he does all this many times. He just summons gopis in the middle of the night, just playing a flute. And that attracts. Uddipana means attraction. Kampana, जो हृदय की कंपन होती है, झंझनाहट होती है, वो झंझनाहट वो अपनी फ्लूट से करते हैं, बंसी से करते हैं. The gopis, thereby vibhava is sets in and become the sthai bhava. So Rasalila in the Bhagavatam, the Rasa Krida is actually the right word. It's not Leela, it's Krida. खेलते हैं एक दूसरे के कंपनों के साथ खेलते हैं. Rasa signifies multitude of Shringar rasa, such as dancing, singing, kissing, embracing. So it looks like in a material level, but it's not. I told you the biggest difference. Material level, the physical organs are feeling that, but here the heart is experiencing that, the mind is experiencing that. वो कुछ और ही है, it is not of this world. All right. So now I'm going to finish in about 10 minutes, just to give you the broad. I've already given you a little bit introduction of the Ujjvala Nilamani, flying, low altitude flying. Now I'll take you to this chapter 29, the one which we are going to start next week. Okay. And here's the nice picture. He summons the gopis, finally came. Okay. So he welcomes them, But here, chapter 62, 63, ये जो 4 chapters है, 5 chapters है, they are not equally built there. As you can see, I have put a rough estimate, the percent, in terms of the commentaries of our acharyas. Almost half of Panchadhyaya is this very first chapter. So this first chapter is extremely important. And there are just 18 verses in the first section we'll be talking about. Even 18 verses also will split to 2 days, 9 verses each. So that chapter 62 and 63, 9 verses of each. Okay, so where Krishna blows his flute. Now, how he gets into romantic mood by seeing the moonlight, Chandrama, full moon. He sees that the fragrance, lotus flower. He sees that the whole beauty of the forest. All this thing is done for him by Yogamaya. Prepares everything for Krishna. Yogamaya does that. The whole forest is, particularly the way he's created unseasonably. Everybody's dancing in full joy. The birds, peacock, the deer, everybody's in great joy with Krishna. So that is about 10%. So just half of it right here. So what we'll do, for the half of it is right there in chapter 29. The remaining 4 chapters will divide into another half. So like it's given, rough estimate is given by this percentage. So you can see that. So Krishna argument. So when the gopis come, he is the one who called them. But when they come, he acts, gives a बड़ा lecture देते हैं कि नहीं आपको जाना चाहिए. एक जवान लड़के को फॉरेस्ट मिलना ठीक नहीं है. It's Vedic injunction is against that. But gopis have given up everything for his sake. Their families, everything, even the Vedic injunction they gave up. Don't worry, don't care about what happened to my next night. So gopis were terribly dejected when he tried to send them back. The gopis wouldn't go there. Unlike that Brahmana Patni that we saw that, right? Where Krishna really meant for them to go. Here, Krishna asked them to go, but he didn't mean them to go. So gopis remain there. They do a rasa dance for a little while, and then he again gives Vipralambha to the gopis, and Antardhyana, he disappears, and he goes after Srimati Radharani. And then even after that, Radha also, he gives her up to. The Radha says that I'm too tired, you need to pick me up. So she also developed that little bit kind of prema raga, So she insists that Krishna pick her up. So there also he leaves Radha also. Then Radha also crying and everything. Then all the gopis searching there comes and meet Radha. So all this jealousy and all this envy, they disappears. Even the rival groups come together and they pacify each other. And finally, there remain these 3 theme 2, 3, 4 is one thing, half of it. First, chapter 29 is the chief chapter, the main chapter, then the Gopi Git comes right here, and then finally the Rasa Dansa fully develops. And that we'll see toward the end. So these verses don't go there. Okay, we will divide according to the strength. Each I have divided in an equal strength like that. So combination is done very, very carefully. Okay, so now the very first 2 chapters that again I have divided like that. So we'll so first I gave you the introduction of the entire Panchadhyay, 5 chapters. Now I'll give the introduction of this chapter 29, because that is the 50% of the entire Panchadhyay. Okay, so it deserves a special introduction to that. Okay, then lesson 62 and 63, each of the first 9 verses of 9, another 9, so total 18 verses. So in the subsection here, Krishna blows his flute to call the gopis. The young girls rush. They left everything in the middle of it. Everything in the middle of it. Milk boiling over. They were nursing their kids. Everything is left there. Actually, these kids were not their own, but their family kids were there. They're defining various groups of gopis. There are different groups of gopis that we'll see. 2 broad classes. Nitya Siddha, Sadhana Siddha. Again, Sadhana Siddha, there are subgroups are there. Then we'll see this next 9 chapters, those gopis who were prevented to lead abandon. So the sadhana said the gopis, some of them were prevented by their husbands, brothers, father, and so on like that. And so then they give up their material body, and their soul unites with Krishna. So Parikshit is here is kind of a little bit puzzled why it happened, how such gopis can have the lower modes of material nature, but actually that lower modes is not there. So Shukdev Goswami actually explains how in the spiritual level we have to understand that. Then Krishna finally greets and welcomes the gopis, but then the rasa dance starts, but he leaves halfway. So that's going to subsequent chapters. So I'll stop here. So then the rest of the thing, chapter 30 is this Viraha Gita, Gopi Gita that we are going to see, sets the stage for that. And here you see the gopis are asking the trees, everybody, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? They become mad, So this whole thing that we are going to hear, the gopis' quest for Krishna before Gopi Gita starts. Then the Gopi Gita comes. See Krishna is playing flute. So this is Gopi's song of separation, Gopi Gitam, the best, fantastic. Each and every verse is so fantastic, Unka dard is coming out in each verse, how they are longing for Krishna. Please Krishna show up, please Krishna show up, like that. And Krishna is watching there. See that? He's hidden there in the one of the bushes, and he's watching there, And finally he shows up. And then gopis ask, why did you disappear? Why did you cause this kind of pain to us? So Krishna said, I was just testing you so that you can come closer to me. And I'm so much touched. For my sake, you gave up your family. Everything you gave up for my sake, including your Vedic injunctions you gave up. I cannot repay that debt. Na paraye aham. I'm eternally going to be indebted to you. So Krishna is saying that. Na paraye aham. In fact, the whole book is written by one of our acharyas. This book cover is of that. Na paraye aham. The entire book is there, And this is finally the rasa dance, the ultimate end of it. The rasa dance taking place right here. See that? So, Hare Krishna. That's the bird eye view, quick way of doing this. The first introductory class, opening the door for Panchadhyay beginning next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for so wonderful review. Which is so wonderful pictures, so beautiful and amazing pictures of all.
देखो नजर भी तो ऐसे चाहिए ना, ब्यूटी देखने के लिए नजर भी चाहिए ना.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You have to have that kind of vision. I try to find the beauty. I look for the beauty in my when I create PowerPoints. That element is always there in the back of my mind. How a particular slide will look. It's at its best. Sometimes I struggle for hours and hours on a single slide. How to present.
राधा रानी का भी जब विमान हुआ और भगवान अंतर्ध्यान हो गए, मगर उसके पीछे भी एक बड़ा रीजन था, वो हमें उज्जवल नीलमणि में हम पढ़े सीखे हैं.
We discussed it's so great length.
So greatly.
But now here, but we are going to focus on different aspect of it,
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you, Akshama.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So nicely you presented. I am not qualified to know or listen.
Come on.
But anyway, mercy of you, mercy of
everyone of you are very, very highly advanced.
So much of the thing trying to understand. So Prabhuji, one thing you just mentioned that some of Acharya say that only one Krishna was along with that, and makes also that, and some say multiple.
Some Acharyas are saying that he multiplied, but actually I found that Acharyas are saying he did not multiply, but he moved
Yeah.
so rapidly,
So
so
fast.
fast.
Yeah.
It seemed
Mm.
like that, just like moving that film, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that motion created. So as if he's doing everything, dancing separately, but he was moving that rapidly, you know, lightning
But
speed.
it's but it says also
So it
2
seemed like that
billion.
he is everywhere.
So 2 billion gopis, right? That's 2 billion gopis.
Number ka ye see, number means he says that, remember that whole dance
Yeah.
is lasted the whole night of Brahma, right?
Brahma.
But actually, but it did not happen that way. In fact, the whole night he condensed into one earthly night.
Mm.
So he gave that feeling to the gopis.
Mm-hmm.
That is Krishna. He can expand time. He can constrict, right? He can extend somebody's life, life, or he can shorten. He can do
Yeah.
anything. He's beyond space and time. Beyond space and time. You cannot even think about it. What he can do, you know, just there's nothing that he cannot do. That is the very definition of God.
Mm. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. So makes sense.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Samantha Mataji, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Such a relishing class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Don't compare to you. What you did such a wonderful job, you know.
No way, Prabhuji. Please don't say Dandavat Pranam. You can please forgive me. You are embarrassing me.
अरे
Please.
बाबा,
No,
really
Prabhuji.
I enjoy your talk. मेरे आंखों में पानी आ गया था उस time.
No, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to you.
Okay.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
my
What's your
question
question?
is, so beautifully you explained that their love is so pure. There is no lust.
Yes.
It is so pure. It's of a highest level.
It's a feeling is through the heart and through the mind, you know.
So, Prabhuji, just wanted to understand how would you make us understand what is rasa or rasa leela or what is rasa krida? How do we understand, Prabhuji?
Leela is a pastime, right? But here they are actually krida means the playing actually, you know. So that is our acharyas likes to consider that as a krida. It's a real sports, you know, that he was enjoying with the gopis, and gopis were enjoying. It's a two-way traffic, not one way, okay? But the gopis are making the other element of this love. Each of the gopis are trying their best how to give maximum love that Krishna can experience more than themselves. That is the overriding desire of each of the gopis. So one another defense is that he's the supreme enjoyer. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives us the sense of it. What is that spiritual enjoyment he is all about? We can only imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. We
So
can only imagine.
Can we say that rasa is the highest bliss?
Yeah, that rasa that Krishna introduced, that is the highest bliss. वो जब डांस करते हैं, सिर्फ उसकी तरंगे, हृदय की तरंगे एक दूसरे से मैच करते हैं म्यूजिकली. वो एक पिक्चर में दिखाया राधा एंड कृष्ण दोनों when they dance together.
So the acharyas actually experience these.
Yeah, they see it because they were the remember many of our acharyas were manjaris. And manjaris, what they do, they prepare the couple, you know.
Yeah.
They prepare the gopis. The manjaris help the Ashtagopis help Radharani, you know. So basically, they want to meet Radharani and Krishna, and sometimes Radha herself will send one of her sakhis to Krishna, like that. And Krishna will go deliberately, makes an appointment with Radharani, and he goes spends a night with Chandravali, but his mind is always with Radha, Sri Radhe. And we saw that other course we did that. Remember, there we discussed about that also. That you know how these things was happening, purpose of Krishna to do. And Radha also knew that Krishna is doing just for her sake all these things. She also knew.
Yes.
And to experience Krishna takes the form of a gopi, dark color gopi, Shyama gopi. The whole course we did on that. All these wonderful courses we did that. Remember? All
Yes,
but
Prabhuji. Prema Vivarta.
Prema
Yeah.
Prema
No,
Vivarta में था ना?
Yeah. So उसके और भी एक कोर्स किया गया था हम लोगों ने.
गोपाल चंपू.
ये श्याम गोपी जो होती है ना, कृष्ण बन जाती गोपी. और she comes, Krishna comes as a gopi to Radharani, and they talk about it. बहुत बहुत प्यारा सा कोर्स था. I enjoyed
Yes,
that
प्रभुजी.
course.
उसमें वो जब मतलब वो
राधा तत्व.
संदूक में नाम भूल गई मैं.
Is it Gopal?
संदूक में जो प्रेम भरा था वो कौन सा माता जी?
Is it Gopal Champu?
It was
नहीं,
Radha
गोपाल चंपू
Tattva.
नहीं है.
No.
Radha
राधा
Tattva.
तत्व, राधा
हाँ,
तत्व भी नहीं
राधा
है.
तत्व.
उसका नाम ही अलग है. उसका कोर्स का नाम ही अलग है.
Prema Samput.
हाँ, प्रेम
हाँ,
संपूर्ण.
प्रेम संपूर्ण. प्रभुजी,
प्रेम
it comes in राधा तत्व, right?
Yeah. बहुत बहुत मुझे बहुत प्यारा लगा था वो.
हाँ,
I
yes, yes.
loved it. अच्छा, ठीक है. और क्या है? बोले कुछ बोलते नहीं कोई लोग.
Hare Krishna, both Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Prabhu, thank you so much. Haribol.
Wonderful class, Prabhu. So thanks for recapping the that particular words, Prabhu. Just a question. This when you said the Krishna only so fast he played with the gopis. So though it is the Acharya's explanation, what you say.
Now
Prabhu.
again, you see, each acharya is their own vision is there.
Correct.
We don't know, but some of the acharyas, what I read, they are saying
Correct.
that he just moved that fast, just
Correct.
the way he danced on Kaliya
Correct.
snake's hood.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, basically, that's what I got. Just a question. So, how that, if that is the case, this Swayam Prakash expansion was not there in that time. So, because he's the only one, so that's what I thought too.
Who knows? Krishna can show his vision to different angles, show to his devotees.
Correct, bro.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
bro.
but
Yes, bro.
इसकी imagination में भी एक प्यार है ना.
Yes, bro. Yes, the acharyas, how they are.
They enjoy the rasa. They also
Correct.
enjoy that particular rasa.
Correct, bro. Yes,
He is the ultimate enjoyer. Remember, we are part of Prakriti.
Yes,
we are being actually enjoyed by Krishna in a special
Yes,
rasa.
Yes, bro.
And
Thank
when
you so much,
Krishna enjoys, we enjoy.
Yes. Thank you so much, bro. Once again, just recapping these words. And I always give your example to our Bhakti Shastri students. So I am studying with one Prabhu. So he's hardly sleeps couple of days. One of the eyes is not even able to see, but still, he's doing so much hard work. So I always when I see you, Prabhu, so it becomes an inspiration to all of us.
प्रेम जो है, प्यार है, वो 80 साल है, 80 साल का बूढ़ा ये बात कर रहा है ना. I know. But that prema, it never ages. That love is like that. It's
Correct.
beyond time, space, age, everything.
Yes, bro. Thank you so much, bro. Thanks for inspiring us.
Spiritual love, transcendental love, मन का love होता है, दिल का love होता है.
प्रभु जी, वो हर रोज बढ़ता रहता है, घटता नहीं है कभी.
Exactly. And that relationship it breaks. It's always in the material platform. जो सच्चा प्यार होता है वो break नहीं होता है कभी.
Thank you so much for the wonderful session, Prabhu. I had missed your Ujjvala Nilamani, but got the privilege to be part of this. So thank you so much. No words
Yeah,
to
thank you.
express.
All the slides, everything is there, in our bank. Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll give it the final few minutes to Sharad Prabhuji. He always said some beautiful, some wonderful light, Sharad Prabhuji, कुछ enlighten कीजिए हमें.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Like all these rasas, as we know, there are 5 primary and 7 secondary, total 12. Somebody may ask a question: are these rasas real? In this context, we have to remember that verse in Bhagavad Gita, Adha Sakha Urdhva Moolam. This means the material varieties of representation of these rasas are there in this material world, and they should be taken as reflection of what happens in the spiritual world, and it should be compared with mirage only. Just like in the desert, there is no reflection of water. The impression of water is present because there is water somewhere. Similarly, all these perverted reflections which we see in the material world, even the primary rasas, Santa, Dasya, Sakhya, they are just like mirage because they are just like reflection. And actually, what is the symbolism and devotion or the deeper meaning of this Rasa Leela or Rasa Krida? The Rasa Leela is actually laden with very deep spiritual symbolism. And Krishna's flute represents the divine call, and the gopis' response to the divine call of the flute symbolizes the soul's longing to reunite with the Supreme Lord. The flute's melody captivates the hearts of all living beings and reminding them of their eternal connection with the Supreme Lord. The gopis, they forsake all material attachments and run toward Krishna, and that is where the power of divine love is seen. And the spiritual meaning of Rasa Yatra lies in the soul's journey from ignorance to enlightenment. When the soul responds to the call of Lord Krishna, the jiva experiences an inner transformation, leaving behind the bondage of material existence. And this rasa dance or rasa festival, it signifies that the divine love, it wins over material desires, where the devotee's love for Krishna takes precedence over everything else. And we also celebrate Krishna's Rasa Yatra. We are reminded of the power of bhakti. The festival teaches us that the happiness which lies in devotional service, in devotion, in loving devotion, in surrender to the Lord, that is what comes up. And the gopis' action, they reflect the highest form of devotion, and their only goal was to serve and please Krishna, and they did not want anything for themselves. And in this divine union, that is the Rasa Leela, Krishna is just a distant form, but the soul's eternal beloved, guiding it toward the spiritual liberation. So it should be understood that way. And as explained, you would have seen all these terms, they are quite difficult to understand. Like the rasa, it was given in the slide also. It means it is a Vyavichari Bhava and an Anubhava also. How? Because as we saw the kissing, dancing, and so on, they are all Anubhavas of Sringara Rasa. And the rasa is the multitude of rasas in that sense. Still, there are transient emotions also in this. That's why it is also Vyavichari Bhava. These things are little difficult to understand, but we should try to understand. And this rasa, you'll find this word you will not find in the Vishnu Purana or in Harivamsa Purana. Even Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he quotes a term from the Shastras calling it Halli Saka. instead of rasa dance, he describes it as the Halisaka dance in accordance with the various talas and all that. And even Rupa Goswami, the Kavi Karnapura, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, they also use this word in their various books.
Yeah, in this also actually this Panchadhyay also that name is referred here.
Yes, Prabhuji. So we are waiting for the highest rasa to be released by all of us as per our competence, as per our eligibility, and we should long to see this in the coming the months, that is in these 11 sessions in which we will be learning about the Rasa Panchadhyay, chapters 29 to 33. Thank you very much.
But you are going to see this kind of course that we are conducting. This is a one of its kind. It's never been done before. The way I'm attempting to do the next sessions, especially chapter 29. I'm still debating how I'm going to be doing, but I'm making already preparations how to do this 150 plus verses. I mean the commentaries of Acharyas, how to present it in a very innovative way. I'm struggling my mind to do it that. You will see it's probably you may not have experienced anywhere before. I'm not trying to hype it, but you'll see that it's something that I've never done in my life for 25 years. This Panchadhyay that way I plan to do it, because I really got excited when with such great depth I studied all these commentaries, every word of it. And then you will see how I devise all those sub-themes and elaborations. These slides also you will probably have never seen before. This you will see now. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Sharad Prabhu. Prabhu, you said that first statement regarding the rasas are not there in the material. I lost that point, Prabhu. Could you please repeat what you said, Prabhu? Sharad Prabhu.
Basically, what we see in the material world is a reflection of the spiritual world. Therefore, it is very difficult to get convinced and understand that. What we are talking of the Supreme Lord and his eternal associates, and that which happened in the Vrindavana, and it is a spiritual world. And as we know from Bhagavad Gita, what we see in the material world, it is a reflection only.
Reflection.
A mirage.
Yes.
That's why we should not get confused.
Okay.
That is what is the matter.
Sure. We cannot compare that rasas with our material dealings rasas.
In material dealings, you'll find like so many people will see if they hear Srimad Bhagavatam, the tears will come from their eyes like this and the other. But don't think that they have come to that level.
Yes.
We cannot. There's no way we can come to that level. As long as we have material body, we cannot come to that. We can only imagine. We can hear. That's all. But hearing itself, that itself is good.
Yes.
It's purifying us.
Sure.
But still then there are very many sadhus also in this material world, as on today, who also release this Sringar Rasa, and they are experts, but they are all hidden. You cannot find out. In various sampradayas they are there, and we hear about some of them, but the most confidential things they also do not disclose, because the Lord tells them not to disclose, because we are not authorized to get them. We are just having an introduction of how it could be. So that's what we are learning, not that we will be learning everything what is given in the 5 chapters of this Rasa Panchadhyay. We will not be able to understand, I am very, very sure, but at least we will get a taste of it and try to test it till we get the blessings or the mercy of the Supreme Lord.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so any other questions, comments? Okay, then let's conclude the class. Lalita Mataji, Lalita Priya Mataji, are you there?
Yes, she is there.
Okay, let's hear a Nashya prayer from her.
Lalit Priya Mataji.
She may have left. It's okay.
Yes,
Somebody else
Prabhuji.
can do it.
Yes, she is
Oh,
there.
are you still there? Yeah, great.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladaladatayine. Praladaladatayine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito nrsimho parato nrsimho. Ito nrsimho parato nrsimho. Yato yato yami tato nrsimho. Yato yato yami tato nrsimho. Bahi nrsimho hridaye nrsimho. Bahi nrsimho hridaye nrsimho. Narsimho madhim sharanam prapadye. Narsimho madhim sharanam prapadye. Tava karakamalabari nakamadbhuta shringam dalita hiranyakashipo tanubringam Keshava Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada भक्ति विघ्न विनाश श्री लक्ष्मी नृसिंह भगवान की जय, श्री प्रहलाद नृसिंह भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अपने अपने गुरु की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। थैंक यू प्रभु। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much.
Thank you, Chandra Bhai. Thank you,
Thank you very
wonderful
much.
class. Thank you very
Thank you,
much. Thank
Prabhuji.
you, sir.
Thank you
very much.
very much.
Thank you, all
Thank
my
you all.
devotees.
Thank you for the
Prabhuji.
wonderful class.
So I
Thank you,
look forward to
Mataji.
see you. So I
Thank you,
look forward to see
Prabhu.
all of you. Okay, don't miss any single one. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes, yes.
Prasad Prabhuji. Prasad Prabhuji, I think you are traveling.
Yes, Prabhu. अभी गुंडीचा देगा, अभी गंभीर देगा, गंभीर गंभीर
Okay, no, I'll meet you at 2:30 at the
Yes, Prabhu.
airport.
Yes, Prabhu. I will message you when I start, Prabhu. Haribol.
Okay.
We'll meet at
Haribol.
airport, Prabhu. Thank you.
Nice to see you, Prasad
Haribol.
Prabhuji. Nice to see you, Prasad Prabhuji.
Hare
Prasad
Krishna,
Prabhuji
Acharya
is in
Prabhu.
Puri today.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dhanavad Pranam.